Assalamu alaikum. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Alhamdulillahi rabbil alameen. Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wahlul 'uqdatam min lisani yafqahu qawli waj'al li waziran min ahli Haruna akhi ushdud bihi azri washriku fi amri kay nusabbihaka kaseera wa nazkuraka kaseera innaka kunta bina basira. ولا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله العلي العظيم وصل اللهم على محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين والحمد لله رب العالمين. Welcome, dear friends, in our continuation of the discussion of the Ascension. I will pass the mic to H. Beza. She's going to present something. Thank you.
Thank you. Assalamu alaikum. So, I guess in relation to what we've been discussing for a while now, the Ascension of the Prophet, in collaboration with Brother Ali, we developed 3 different images corresponding to Wahidiyya, Ahadiyya, and the Miraj. So, inshallah, my intention here is to kind of present these images, talk about some of, I guess, what they represent, and of course there being limitations to themselves, and of course there being a degree of utilizing symbolism. So with this first image representing Wahidiyya, or just a couple of things, the infinity sign there represents like the absolute source, or the point through which these lines called the manifestations of Asma al-Husna, the names of God, are coming from. Notice that they're straight, or they're continuous lines, and they're meant to represent how the Asma, or the divine names, are continuously coming from an absolute point. There are spaces between them, of the limitation of, I guess, what we are able to present, but technically, because it's coming from an absolute source, there shouldn't really be any gaps in between. And then as for the human being, on the bottom here, the human being, only through the capacity given to the human being can the human being use the manifestations of divine names as a way to form a connection and respond back to their creator. Notice the lines from the human being kind of also are straight line, or they're lines that don't break, so it represents the potential of the human being to communicate with their creator. And of course, in practice, however, these lines would be broken because of either disconnectedness with the creator due to forgetfulness, or not training ourselves, or deviation, or etc. And so, of course, in the middle here, we have the universe. So when an absolute source manifests its qualities on the created universe, the human being has the opportunity to utilize the universe to establish a connection with the creator. So in other words, the creator makes himself known through the universe, which includes the human being in the universe, and these manifestations of his qualities in the universe become a means through which the human being has access to these qualities and recognizes them to the degree that he develops himself. And this development of the self includes communication with the creator through the universe, as I've been emphasizing here, and through the process of asking human questions relating to one's source of existence. Where am I coming from? Why am I here? What is the true nature of things, etc. Therefore, an important note something important to note is that without the universe, it's impossible for the human being to establish a connection or communicate with their creator. We can't go like from this point, like around this way. That would be something that is not accessible to me, or it's not something that doesn't reflect my reality. So I need the universe, absolutely needed to communicate with my creator. And this leads to belief in God, which recognizes the perfection of the universe. Again, through the universe, I'm recognizing my creator, recognizing my position as his guest. So I'm going to, unless there are any thoughts, Brother Ali, I'm going to move on to the second image. I'll just pause here. Okay. So here's the second one, the path of Ahadiyya. So this one is similar, but has some key differences. In terms of the human being's relationship with their creator, the universe is again necessary for the human being to establish a relationship with the Asma or their creator. And it's not possible to go beyond the universe. Again, it's not within the capacity of the human being. And the action, or what is within the realm of possibility for the human being, is limited to the universe, as we can see with the orange arrows, these reflections or the connection that the human being has or makes remains within the universe. It's only possible for the human being to become aware of the existence of his creator by utilizing the capacity given to him to read the rays of divine names, the Asma, manifested in the universe, and communicate with his or her creator. So in other words, we can say that again, the divine names are manifested in the universe, and the human being, as much as he has trained himself, he can conclude that the source of these qualities must be an absolute one, or in other words, must be Gaib. And that's my conclusion. Again, I can't go from here, like around here. I have to go through the universe. And as this one emphasizes, the path of Ahadiyya, belief in God by responding to divine names, right here on the bottom. Divine names manifesting in each being in the universe. So kind of training my ability in my everyday life to recognize the Asma, the divine names that are being manifested in everything that is being created for me, that is in fact a result of his will. And therefore responding to these divine names within each being in the universe, within each particularity. So inshallah, with that said, I will move on to the third image, unless there are any add-ons. Okay, please go ahead.
Before going to the third image, I understand from your emphasis on each being, again, we communicate with the universe, but not as a whole. Previous one, Wahidiyya one, looking at the universe, this universe must have a creator. It's huge. So, and this creator must go beyond the capacity of the universe. That realization is called, in the language of the Quran, belief in ghaib, the absoluteness of the creator, which is represented here with the sign for infinite. So that is generalization. Whereas in the Ahadiyya, through each being, understanding that the one who created this must be the one who created the whole. So you don't have to think about all the universe, just emphasizing on one point and concluding in the manifestation as a result of the observation of the manifestation of the absolute creator, which means through all his qualities manifested there, that the power must be the one's power who has given the entirety of the universe, because this being in a particular position with particular manifestations demonstrates and clearly announces that it really lets me know, or I realize through this manifestation, the creator of this each being must be the creator of the whole entire universe, because this exists within the context of the universe, which is a unique being. It means the universe is one being, as well as each being in the universe individually is a one being, but both equally manifests and points to the necessity of the existence of the creator, who must be the absolute being. The difference, I just wanted to share my emphasis on the difference, which is important because nowadays it is more practical for us to go through the hadiyah, which is if we miss the hadiyah and just feel that it is enough, I believe in God. Of course, the universe works or is created in a continuously changing creation, but we may think that the creator is just the one who creates the whole universe, but everything in it independently moving within the order of the universe by following the order of the universe, but that is their actions. Then we miss the point if we don't educate ourselves in a hadiyah, we miss the point that God is not the one who initiates the universe and puts the universe in a perfect order and let it work by itself. But every moment, he must be the one who gives existence to each newly created universe. That is possible. Otherwise, there are many people and also followers of other religions has this idea of God who is the creator of the universe. So the difference, what we learn from the Quran is not the one who created the universe and everything is individually and independently acting by themselves. No, the universe is subject to continuously changing creation within, and also creation is taking place in an orderly manner, wisely manner, purposefully manner, which are all the which all the these are nothing but the manifestations of the absolute qualities of the same creator, and absoluteness necessitates everything must be under its direct control. Thank you. It was a good presentation. We thought that I didn't understand what Fariha said, but later on. It was a good presentation. We discussed, or for many, maybe more than a month, maybe two, about Ascension, what we learned from Ascension, so that we can always make our ascension to the Creator within our capacity. So I don't understand what Fariha wrote, something vice versa, correction. Sorry. She has written something, maybe it may relate it to me. Can we say that Ahadiyya is witnessing Creator through deduction, reasoning, whereas Wahidiyya is witnessing creator through manifestation of the qualities of, I understand. Wahidiyya is witnessing the creator, manifestation of creator, I know she means this, through inductive reasoning. No, just the opposite, correct. Vice versa is correct. Yeah. Induction, that is how it's called, is ahadiyya. And deduction is, technically speaking, deduction is what it is called wahidiyya. That's how I understood, and the correction is correct. Thank you very much. That's my understanding. I don't know what other friends say. Thank you.
Thank you for elaborating and for the comments as well. Unless there's anyone else who wants to comment on the comment, I'm going to move on to the third image, which now takes us to the ascent, or I guess the question of what does ascension for the human being look like? And let me see if I can adjust this so that we can see all of it. Or if that's too small. So Miraj kind of representing the relationship between between the human being, the universe, and the creator, or it can be or how can it be kind of represented in my prayer and salah. So we kind of have 3 steps here of understanding, I guess. So the first step takes place with the human being saying "Iyyaka na'budu," you alone we worship, and the "we" there refers to all beings in the universe, and looks to recognition that everything in the universe comes from the creator. This is a form of reflection, so it takes place before salah, while the human being partakes in reflection. And notice here that, again, we have the asma coming through the universe, and then kind of these green arrows representing, notice that they're also dotted. Let me see if I can move to the left here, and I cannot. Okay, yeah, they're dotted lines, so kind of the human being kind of collecting all of these reflections, if you will, in their being. And then in the second stage of understanding, then the asma, the divine names, the qualities are still kind of being manifest in the universe, but the human being collects all of these reflections, if you will, and the time of reflection is complete. So he he cuts his connection off from the universe, and instead now it is the time when he prostrates and presents his conclusions to the creator, that everything in the universe, everything belongs to him, and that all of the capacities in his being and in the universe are from the creator. So it's more so a time of presenting what his conclusions, and then in the final stage here, experiencing Miraj through belief and guide. So as it says on the right here, responding back. It's a means of responding back, and in doing so, speaking on behalf of and representing the entirety of the universe, as was emphasized before, with like every being at every single time, continuous creation rather than like a clockwork sort of creation that's set and going in motion. And my reflection here then remains within the universe. So I can't go beyond the universe itself. The universe is necessary for me to share my conclusion back to the creator, or even reflect in the first place. So this is at this stage, then this is my direct communication with my creator. And it is also a means through which I prepare myself for the hereafter. And to the degree that I get to kind of train myself here, is the degree to which I am prepared. That I can't while I can't go beyond the limits of the universe myself, I can conclude that by through belief in God, that the source, the creator, must be beyond anything that I can imagine. So that is those are what I have to share. Again, if anyone has any thoughts or add-ons, happy to take them. Michelle, please go ahead.
Just as a summary, since we studied the Ascension Miraj, and we know that the most important fruit, the result of trying to learn what Miraj of the Prophet Muhammad was, is nothing but how can I make my own Miraj? And the fruit of this Miraj is, as the text we studied explained it and stated emphatically, that this fruit is the prayer. So that is why my daily life is the life of the ordinary life of the Prophet, who is always trying to acknowledge the Creator and referring everything to the source of the existence of every being at every moment. But during prayer, this is the peak of the realization. So prayer is my miraj, and of course, Prophet's prayer is his miraj, but daily, but a special occasion is the miraj of his own life as a prophet, as a messenger. So the miraj, the peak realization of the news that we receive from the Creator, the peak point of the realization, pinnacle of the realization, that is represented in Miraj. Otherwise, every day, at least 5 times a day, the Prophet also used to practice his daily Miraj, if you like, not lifelong Miraj, daily Miraj. Of course, the accumulation of this daily Miraj makes the one Miraj, like all we do in our prayers. And then in Hajj, we make our peak Miraj, 3 days constantly being in the presence of God, as if I am in prayer. So harem means this: I cannot really go out of this very sacred situation, very sacred realization, continuously in contact with God, rather than paying attention to whatever buildings around, hotels. Of course, if you can see the Kaaba from this presentation of hotel buildings surrounded around it, 20 times higher than the Kaaba. And that is something, of course, the disease of this age. Okay, let me see. Okay, thank you. I thought there was a comment about what I'm saying. So here we understand that Iyaka na'budu, it means we, you alone. We means I, one by one, connection of my connection with the creatures, one by one, I concluded that everything definitely says whatever exists in the universe comes from the same source, and this unique source must be absolute. So nabudu, we alone, means together with the every part of the universe, every single human being, every single plants and animals, all of us, declaring that we can, you are our owner, you are our master. That is first iyaka. The second iyaka, if you notice, the connection with the universe is cut off. What does it mean? I am now, I mean, if you like, my intention to be in the presence of God directly, like it is described in the Miraj of the Prophet, but I know that while I am prostrating, taking the what I have concluded from the reality of the universe on my shoulder, representing what they are declaring, we are nothing before you. So here, as H. Beza emphasized on the importance of it, we can never go in our imagination, even while we are in prostration, sajda, that we are in the presence of God, but we know that we cannot imagine anything but the manifestations of the qualities of its creator. So it doesn't mean that my imagination or feeling that I am in the presence of God doesn't mean that I am going beyond this in the middle. The Rose says the universe beyond this, and as if I am in the presence of the absolute being. But when I go to the universe, I take the universe with me going to the prostration position. It means we have no way to claim anything before you or our creator. So now, rather than going through the universe, taking the universe on my back, representing, that is called Khalifa, vicegerent or whatever you call it. They say another word for it, envoy, or maybe there was another word I couldn't remember. Let's say envoy. On behalf of the universe, I am representing that before you, we all prostrate, claim nothing at all that we own. So in the third, Miraj through belief in Ghaib. This, let's call it green. I don't know the color, this color, which kind of color, the name of this, but I will call it green. Okay, the green color seems to be the person now at the conclusion of his prostration, realization, he presents his needs. وَإِيَّاكَ نَسْتَعِينَ, second stage. So he needs to God directly. That is why while he is presenting his need, for example, I need to exist. That is from you. Universe goes beyond the universe. And I need to keep my life. Again, which is not as if go a universe away from between me and my creator. Directly, you, the source of the existence of the universe, you can give me the life. You must be the giver of my life. So all these conclusions presented to God at the end of the prayer, it means at the last stage of Miraj of a person here, but he can, again, he must remember that he cannot imagine anything beyond the universe. But is his intention saying that, oh, we are here in the universe, need your act of creating, your act of granting everything we need and we have here. They are all from you, not from from ourselves. So that is why he has to go through the universe, beyond the universe, intention-wise, but imagination-wise, anything imagined which goes beyond the universe is ideally correct, because universe points to its creator. But anything which we can imagine something beyond the universe is not the absolute being. So presentation of my need to the creator directly, not through the creation of the universe. No, my life has nothing to do with the universe. My existence is nothing to do with the universe. All my life, my existence, and the existence of the universe, the life of the universe, directly is given, granted by the creator of the universe. That is why it has to go through it, but imagination-wise, we cannot imagine and go beyond it. As the point on the right-hand side said, tefekkur remains within the universe. Speaking on behalf of the universe, that's interesting, really. Responding back now to God directly. Yes, you manifested your names here, your qualities here. You introduce yourself to me through the universe. Yes, now I have to respond back, which means, yes, I agree, I confirm, everything is from you. Every part of the universe is from you at every moment. That the universe is not turning, but recreation is continuing. This is the very important conclusion I got from this, whatever the drawings. Thank you. Asim says something. Okay. All right. Can we go over the difference between the second and the third? Now, here on the last one?
Yes, correct.
Yeah, okay. I don't know. H. Beza, would you like to?
You can go ahead.
What I understood, we noticed that İyyâke nâbudu, I understand this universe, everything all together announces your beauty first, your beautiful names, as it is generally translated, Esmaül Hüsna. And still, concluding from the universe and presenting his conclusion to the creator. But in the second stage, now the reflection reflection of the reflection on the universe is cut off. Taking together with a person as the caliph, it means as the one who is entrusted with the tools with which human beings can get in contact with the creator directly, consciously. That is, as far as we are concerned, only human beings have this quality, human spirit. That is what the Quran says. Otherwise, I cannot speculate on others. But I'm taking this, you can present your conclusion, whatever you have concluded from the universe now, directly to me. But if the drawing was possible going through around the universe directly going there, but not reflection-wise, conclusion-wise, and taking the universe with him, with the person prostrating. Universe and I understood, we can imagine this, the second one, as if, let's say, general commander of the army is there, and a major, for example, takes his regiment, trains his regiment, and demonstrates what he has concluded, taking his regiment behind him, saying that together with my regiment, as you see, speaking to the general, commander in general, commander in general, I think it is called. So speaking to him, I am speaking on behalf of my regiment, that we belong, we are ready here to obey your command. But he is personally speaking, because he is the one who educated all the soldiers in the regiment. It means concluded from their, in our example, from their existence. He takes all these conclusions and presents it to the Creator directly, not imagination-wise, but representation-wise. The difference between second and third, now rather than representation-wise, but directly speaking to the Creator without imagining him again. There is no imagination goes beyond the universe. That is what we have to be careful. Although our imagination brings the news, the necessary existence of the Creator, which is absolute being, but I cannot imagine anything about the content of this being, essence of this being, beyond the manifestations of his qualities, the way he presents himself to me. So somehow the second one is important, saying İyyâke na'budu, in the position, it means nothing else but only you, including myself, have no claim on behalf of the universe. Whereas, speaking to universe, to the Creator, still observing the universe. In the prayer, that is why we cut off our relationship, and of course, it is advised to concentrate on the point of your sajda and pray there. Now, as if while we are standing, even standing during the prayer, performing one's prayer, standing still, my focus point is position in the sajda. It means I have nothing. I have nothing. I stand before you, but I am in fact in the position of sajda, prostration. I don't know whether it is helpful or not, as much as I could explain this.
Alhamdulillah, thank you. Yes, that helped. All right. So any other thoughts or comments by anyone?
Oh, this was great, mashallah. I just wanted to reiterate on the second point here is pretty much cutting oneself off from anything of this universe. Like, what's my point of worship? Or I don't have any point of support except the source of my existence, or the ilah part in, right? We mentioned that. So I liked how the visual doesn't have those green lights going anywhere, because right now you're just in acknowledgement of nothing of this universe really is my point of support. So cutting yourself off from there and like disowning everything, and then transitioning to number 3, the visual, where now you're in a completely different state, like a newborn, where you're stripped yourself off from any claims that are superficial. So it's just like a transition. Just wanting to reiterate, alhamdulillah, jazakallah khair for sharing this.
I think you are aware of it. You used an excellent word here. I will utilize it. In the first position, I am still reflecting. I am still reflecting, receiving the messages. Look at the arrows coming to the human being. He's receiving. Now, from the absolute being to the universe, the absolute being is sending his qualities, reflecting his qualities on the universe, and the man is receiving so that he will understand we all come from the same source. This is the reflection position. Whereas in the second position, reflection stops. That is why the serious scholars advise prayer, during the prayer, rather than reflection, you have to now present your, I'm borrowing the word Fariha used, acknowledgement, recognition. I am presenting our recognition, as in my previous example, the major speaking to the general, we accept your authority and we are ready to obey you. And now the major is not training his soldiers anymore. This position is presenting the conclusion, which is acknowledgement, to the general indirector. Now here, whereas here, maybe we may need to draw another bubble here. وَإِيَّاكَ نَسْتَعِينَ. Yeah. Me and the universe, all together, we need your granting our existence and your life. Our existence and our life. And everything, whatever. I need health, I need comfort, I need satisfaction. All of us expect from you. So speaking again, as a result of his acknowledgement, presenting it to the Creator by saying, وَإِيَّاكَ نَسْتَعِينَ, here next, another bubble. Maybe, I don't know how you think, Hatice Beyza thinks, and you also think, do you think it is better to put وَإِيَّاكَ نَسْتَعِينَ prayer time here? That is why it is strongly advised in general, although Prophet experienced it or practiced it privately, at the end of the prayer, we are expected to present our supplications to our Creator.
It's a good idea, I think. I mean, because now if we really, I'm a visual learner, so this is very helpful. So the number 1 is, like you were saying, in reflective mode, preparing myself that, hey, just cutting off disconnecting from this universe, so going into the second stage, which is the prostration sajda. Yeah, I think it would be good to have maybe another bubble, because I feel the first one, Iyaka na'budu, it is you alone we worship. I think it covers it. So here we can have Iyaka na'budu wa iyaka nasta'in, maybe, or
وَإِيَّاكَ نَسْتَعِينَ.
So all together with the universe, human being.
I think so. So a plus. So just keep this bubble, just add maybe iyaka nasta'in. So it's like one step up. So, and then, yeah, that would make more sense, inshallah. What do others think?
Inshallah sounds good to me.
Very beautiful visual presentation, alhamdulillah. Thank you. Any other thoughts or comments? So we have a few minutes left, inshallah. So
I just wanted to double check what tafakkur means, like reflection, right? Tafakkur remains within the universe. Right? Tafakkur means reflection. So like if I'm reflecting, what do you guys all understand from tafakkur?
That's right. I think exactly as you said, it's reflections that remain within the universe. So I can't go beyond it. And in the second stage where, that where I'm presenting, then that's not a place of tafakkur, but in the third one, then I'm kind of responding back. So if you will, establishing that direct connection between myself and the creator through the universe.
Thank you. Very helpful. Yes. Is it also related to like zikr, the tafakkur piece? Like zikr, in the form of tasbih, like, how you have the names, something like subhanallah, subhanallah. Is that it? Or it encompasses everything where you reflect on things and you're like, alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah, like you're responding back and like it's automatic pretty much. When you, for example, if you're grateful about something, you're like, alhamdulillah, or like, wow, subhanallah. So is that it?
Now, one of them is called dhikr, the other one is called tadhakkur. But what you said is right. But, technical Quranic languages, zikr means, as you say, subhanallah, alhamdulillah, mentioning. Tafakkur means reflecting, remembering what you have gathered, concluded from the universe. When we are reading the Quran, يذكرون is different from يتفكرون. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. That was interesting.
right. Okay, so thank you. So I'll share my screen now, inshallah. Yes, the advanced. So yes, on our topic of the Miraj, the Ascension, which we concluded kind of last week, and today we had a beautiful visual summary as well on our discussion. So now the author is kind of sharing about one of the miracles, basically, of the splitting of the moon and this addendum to which he accompanies to this ascension part, where he discusses like a matter in terms of how important what miracles are, and he touches upon that as well. So this is based on the section of the Quran, Al-Qamar 54, verses 1 and 2, where it says, the hour is near and the moon, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, in the name of God, the merciful, the compassionate. The hour is near and the moon is split. اقتربت الساعة وانشق القمر. And then the next one is, but if they see a sign, they turn away and say, this is evident magic. Right, so even by seeing the evidence, they're saying, or the sign, which everything in the universe is a sign, as we kind of understand, pointing to whoever is presenting it to us. And if one turns away and says, this is just magic, or in our days, this is natural or accidentally happening. So the author kind of talks about this, and I don't think, maybe we can just get introduced to this. Philosophers and their unreasoning imitators who want to eclipse with their vicious delusions the splitting of the moon. So a fancy way of saying this, basically denying or not accepting, right? So eclipse this event of the splitting of the moon, which is a miracle. So it is definitely a miracle of the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, that shines like the moon. Say, if the splitting of the moon had occurred, it would have been known to the whole world and would have been related throughout the subsequent history of man. So they're claiming that, okay, if this happened, then this should have been recorded into history and everybody should have seen it, or many people. It would have been popular. And the answer the author shares in 5 points. So I'll just go over the answer and then we'll go maybe about the first point next time, inshallah. So the answer, it says, since the splitting of the moon was demonstrated as an evidence of prophethood, so this miracle of the splitting of the moon was acted as an evidence of the prophethood for that time period, right? And happened instantaneously at night when people were asleep and before a gathering, who, although they witnessed such an evidence, denied it. So even in front of them, that those who have actually, and historically they witnessed it during that time, the whole evidence, still denied it. And since there were obstacles hindering the sighting of it, such as mist, clouds, and time differences between different parts of the world, and since at that time science and civilization were not widespread, and observation of the skies was very limited, and the event itself was exceptional, there was therefore nothing to necessitate that it should have been seen all over the world and passed into the general histories. Right, and then he goes over some of the 5 points, but just to recap this introduction, basically, of these verses and how the author is presenting them. So in our day and age, of course, we have a lot of different, when we look at the universe, they're like whatever is going on in the universe, the acts that are happening, we must be wondering at how they are happening, what is going on. So in our day and age, definitely the signs that are being denied by the material scientists, right? Those who are very adamant in terms of their scientific theories and reasoning and ideology. So that is what I would see. And they, instead of saying this is evident magic, they say this is not part of the scientific approach. They would say this is just, you're going into another topic of theology or another discipline, or going into something mystical or something else, but definitely not scientific, which is based on reasoning and logic. All right. So there's a comment from Faria. So what's being said here about the splitting of the moon? What does it mean? Does it matter if it happened actually for us now?
Yeah, I mean, what's the point being made here? So we are continuing on with the ascension.
Yeah.
And so there were miracles about the splitting of the moon, just like any.
How is it related? That's your question, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's hear from Brother Ali, inshallah.
there is a very extremely important point missed in translation. I was surprised. It means, I'm not accusing, but the translator didn't appreciate must have not appreciate the value of this information. It says, the translation says, which is very important in order to understand the hadith narrations. That is why we have to take note on our books or on our records, maybe in our mind. Now, let me translate the original sentence here, which is, I mean, as far as I know, H. Beyza knows the Turkish, but if I have translated it wrongly, correct me, please, H. Beyza. Let me read the Turkish original. I am going into details because it is extremely important. İnşikak-ı kamer, davayı nübüvvete delil olmak için. Yeah, it is here. Since the splitting of the moon was demonstrated as an evidence of prophethood. That is correct. O davayı işiten. It is missing. Look, o davayı işiten means people. İşiten. Without knowing his message, this miracle has nothing to do with these people. Only those people who heard his message. Is there any more? No. In the following sentences, it is not included as far as I can see. But I was excited why that point was missing here. So, o davayı işiten means those people who heard his message, so that this miracle will draw their attention that this message, his message, is very important, approved by the creator of the moon. It means the universe, of course. Without the universe, moon cannot exist as far as we can see within the context of the universe. That is very important. So whoever created the universe must be the one who created the moon. So whoever created the moon is being a witness here to the people who have heard the message. Right? So that they will take the message seriously. Okay? Ve inkar eden. No, it is not here. İnkar eden. Hazır bir cemaat. But heard the message, but denied the message. And these people were there. While the miracle was demonstrated, this miracle was unique. Is it there somewhere? So that's it. It is here. So when people were asleep and before gathering, although they witnessed such an evidence, denied it. In the presence of this translation must be changed. In the presence of the people who have heard the message, and no, they didn't deny the message. No, sorry. They didn't deny the miracle. She did, the translator didn't understand. Deny the message and in their presence, this miracle was demonstrated. In their time is up, but this is very important. In their presence, this miracle was presented to draw their attention that they should take the message seriously rather than deny the miracle. No, deny the message. So they needed it. They needed the miracle because they didn't study the message. They didn't have the whole message, the message. So they just heard one or two sentences from the Quran and without really contextualizing it, the purpose, doesn't know what the purpose of the speech is. They said, come on, it's a kind of poetry. Come on. Yeah, it is important, very interesting poetry, but why should I follow you because of this beautiful poetry rather than a message from the Creator? And then this miracle was performed, of course, by the creation of Allah to draw their attention, to take the message seriously. No, so they witnessed but such an evidence to take the message seriously. So we will come here, deny the message from the prophet, will be people, no, the evidence. Actually, this happened instantaneously. No, before happened instantaneously at night when people were asleep. At the end of this subject. So I don't know. Come on, help me. Or
so you said in the
help. You got the message, I think.
Go ahead, İşbeza.
Hazır bir cemaate, bak, işiten ve inkar eden hazır bir cemaate gece vakti gaflete ani olarak gösterildi. Yeah. Now, let's correct the translation, and I want to write it down, the translation. So, since the splitting of the moon was demonstrated as, at the presence of the people, what demonstrated, at the presence of the people, go up. Since the splitting of the moon was demonstrated at the presence of the people, you can make it the language better. At the presence of the people who heard the message, who heard the message and denied it. Now, this is two qualities are important. First, in order to benefit from the miracles, first, we have to be addressed to we have to have the opportunity to address the message, to be present in front of the message. It means now I have to be aware of the message. And then, if I deny the message, and if the prophet was here, I have the right to receive the miracles. Otherwise, now the prophet is not here, and I have the message in full. I am given the opportunity to study the message from the cover to from the beginning to the beginning, cover to cover. And if I still deny it, then nothing can help me. That is why the Muslim scholars say Quran is the only message we need. now is a miracle, nothing else. Even they say they use this generally to scholars use this language. We don't need miracles now. No, they don't use this. Excuse me. Miracles are nothing to do with me. Oh, okay. And the only miracle is the Quran. Correct. And study the Quran seriously and don't expect a demonstration of a miracle for you now. But during the prophetic time, those people who were addressed only partially, a few partial revelation, partial part of the revelation message, and they were not satisfied. And then the prophet was there. God created at the demand of the prophet miracles to help them to take the message seriously. But taking the message seriously is my addition to the original text, in order to draw their attention to the importance of the message. That is why when we read the miracle narrations, we have to bear in mind that this is for the people during the Prophet Muhammad Wasalam's life, and they received only partial message, and they were not satisfied, and God, as a result of his mercy, created the miracles for them. Because it is logically necessary that these people, in other evidence, to be encouraged to pay serious attention to the message and take the prophet seriously as a person who, on whose demand, God responds back directly in front of your eyes. Now, I don't need it. The whole message is in front of me, and there is no prophet here. I am free to study the message seriously, and if I still take the obstinacy or arrogance and deny the message, that is my choice, and I have to be ready to receive the consequences of my rejection. I don't know. Did I understand correctly, H. Beza?
I think so. There's a nuance there that is not clearly represented in the translation here.
No,
So I think,
translation.
yeah.
What is that?
That they were in the presence and having yet witnessed it, then still denying it. The English translation kind of swaps the places around and the meaning becomes more elusive.
So, can you just tell?
Yeah, would you
us?
be able to share that?
Yeah, write it down and we can copy paste it. Asim can copy paste it, and I would like to write as well.
I'm not good with on the spot translations. Sorry.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's fine. We can continue. Like, you can send it to me, and then I'll update this, inshallah.
And I think we can start from here next week to
Inshallah.
Part-28. So Hatice Beyza can share with, I mean, however she would like to prefer with me, and I can share it with you or
Okay.
to you.
Sure.
But
Either way is fine, yes.
yeah, if she has the contact information. I don't know. That's personal matters. I don't want to get involved in it. But I think next week we can have the new translation, and this is important. Start studying from the answer. What do you think?
Inshallah. Let's do that.
And now Feriha has something here also.
Oh, she's asking, I think you mentioned something about partial.
Yeah, because when you were talking about the miracles, why were the miracles there were to draw people's attention to the importance of the message because partial miracles were not doing it for them, or you said
Don't bother to
okay.
explain. Even I might have said partial miracle, but it's wrong. Partial message. 1, 2, 3, 4, 10, 20 verses.
So they were
Partial
not satisfied with the partial messages. Like, forget about the word partial. They were
because
not satisfied with whatever.
Now, the culture is this. They didn't have the Quran with them, Mus'haf, all together. They just hear 1, 2 verses narrated by the companions to these people. They say, come on, good poetry. They said good poetry. No one denied the value of the rhetoric value of the Quran. But it's a good poetry, but I don't know. Why should I follow this man just because he said a good poetry? Because it is not the book the Quran presented to them. Parts of verses. That's it. Does it make sense to you? Look at the conditions of that time.
Right, it does make sense. So hence, miracles were needed.
No, not partial miracle. No. Yeah.
Gotcha.
That's clear now. Alhamdulillah. Thank you. We need to be clear about it.
Alhamdulillah. All right. Thank you, everyone. So I'll stop the recording here. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Subhanaka la ilma lana illa ma lamtana innaka anta alimun hakim. Wa akhiru da'wana alhamdulillahi rabbil alameen. Bi hurmati suratul Fatiha.